Let's explore the passage of Matthew chapter 18 from verse 21 to chapter 19 verse 1. It is the encounter between Peter and Jesus, where Peter is asking Jesus about forgiveness. How many times will one forgive, and how many times will it be enough? But then I want to present this where this servant that is forgiven is unable to forgive. It says, at that time the servant fell down, did him homage, and said, "Be patient with me, and I will pay you back in full." Moved with compassion, the master of that servant let him go and forgave him the loan. When that servant had left, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him a much smaller amount. He seized him and started to choke him, demanding, "Pay back what you owe." Falling to his knees, his fellow servant begged him, "Be patient with me, and I will pay you back." But he refused. Instead, he had the fellow servant put in prison until he paid back the debt. What is happening here? This servant has been forgiven his debt, but in his mind, he still owed debt. This servant has been freed externally, but his internal is still caged and imprisoned. This servant's situation has changed, but his mindset has not changed. That is what is happening here. Now remember, a few videos back, I had talked about 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 6, where Paul said, "Thin sowing is thin reaping. Abundant sowing is abundant reaping." This guy does not understand what abundance means. He doesn't understand what abundance means. So he's operating from a scarcity mode, a scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset goes with clenched fist. Clenched fist. A scarcity mindset does not understand what giving, what generosity, what opening the hands would imply, because he is afraid of the consequence. So this man is holding this other guy on the throat because he is living in scarcity, even though he has received much. This is what happens to us. Most of us operate in this scarcity mindset. That is why when we talk about forgiveness, forgiveness for us is a place of weakness. Forgiveness for us becomes a place of woundedness, making ourselves vulnerable the more. This man thinks if he forgives, then he's losing something. Resentment can be that clenched fist. Lack of generosity can be that clenched fist. Harsh judgment can be that clenched fist, because it forgets that grace makes us generous. It forgets that God has given us grace in a generous, gratuitous way. So this is a lesson for each and every one of us. How are you able to give? How are you able to receive? And how are you able to open yourself in a way that places you in the position to appreciate what God has done for you? God is a generous giver. Don't say, "Pay me back." Don't hold on the thoughts. Release.